A trade in the NBA, the Utah Jazz are sending Rudy Gobert to the Minnesota Timberwolves in exchange. Utah receives, are you ready? Malik Beasley, our friend Patrick Beverley, Jared Vanderbilt, Walker Kessler, who was Minnesota's first-round pick just this year, and multiple future first-round picks. All of this according to our Adrian Wojnarowski.
Welcome to the Deep Dive Courtside Capital, where we dive into all 30 NBA teams in each video. And starting off with the Gobert tragedy.
First off, this is a heck of a move by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Made the playoffs for the first time in many years. I haven't done my research at this moment, but it was many years. Karl Towns yesterday signs a $220 million extension, and they want to play Karl Towns at power forward. They get one of the great defensive centers we've ever seen.
Offensively, I'm trying to picture the pairings. But listen, so I'm right now thinking, as far as Minnesota's concerned, I have to see what this looks like before I can make a determination. I can't automatically today sit here and say, oh, well, they're now climbing rungs in the Western Conference. Like they're more of a contender.
With those puppies. I actually love this addition. I actually think that they're trying to do it their way, and they're trying to go back to the traditional too big, and I think it's okay, because eventually it's going to move back in that direction. We have seen it time and time again.
As you can see, many analysts had thought this was a great trade for the Timberwolves, and it was a W trade. They thought the Timberwolves had won the offseason with adding another big man. They needed another big man with that defense down low, including me, who thought this was one of the best moves in this offseason. But what we thought did not happen at all, as they currently are 9th in the West at 22-23 on the brink of losing their 9th seed and falling out of the play-in. They're not that far out from falling out. They currently have an offensive rating of 113.5, which is currently 19th in the league. And they have a defensive rating with Rudy Gobert down low as their anchor at 113.9, which is 13th in the league. And they have a net rating of minus 0.4, which is 19th in the league, and which is pretty bad, which is a pretty bad net rating. Your offensive rating should be higher than your defensive rating. They had an over-under 49.5 coming into this preseason. Does not look like they're going to hit that anytime soon. Maybe they might not even crack 40 games, which is looking pretty tough. Another huge flaw in this team is their transition defense, especially their transition threes. They get up a lot of transition threes on the break. As you can see, D'Angelo Russell is trailing the play right here, and Anthony Edwards is right here in no man's land. After that Wizards play, as you can see, Anthony Edwards turns the ball over to Evan Fournier. Jalen Brunson is going on. This is a 3-on-2 break right here, where Kyle Anderson is all the way in the paint on a 3-on-2 break with the Golden State Warriors. Anthony Edwards is not even, I don't know who he's going to go guard right there. Same with one of the best shooters in NBA history with Buddy Hield. He just forgets about Buddy Hield as well. Anthony Edwards has to work on this. This team, this is not communicating enough on the transition side. Another thing that's up with this team is Karl Anthony Towns' transition defense, because he does like to get into the paint on the transition side. And another thing teams love doing is on the transition side, going to the corners. So the big man with Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns, as you can see, Buddy Hield gets wide open here because it's tough for them to go into the corners with going from, being fast at going and closing out on the throw on those threes in the corners. My huge thing is with Rudy Gobert. He has terrible hands. It's been a known thing for a long time that Rudy Gobert does have terrible hands. He really fumbles the ball, especially in the painted area. As you can see, all these passes from Anthony Edwards, D'Lo, he's just losing that ball. He can't grab that ball fully. Same with like these passes from Karl Anthony Towns. He's just losing that ball. It's easy for him to lose that ball, even on easy layups. He's just not laying that ball up as it should be, because it should be an easy thing, because he is a roller. He just loses that ball. But one thing Rudy has been able to do, and the Timberwolves, that I can say, which is really helping this team, is giving the gravity, using Rudy's gravity as a roll man to their advantage, letting shooters shoot those wide open threes. As you can see in this Charlotte Hornets clip, two defenders go to Rudy Gobert and leave that shooter wide open. D'Angelo Russell missing that short. But that's one thing that this team is utilizing really well, which is his roll gravity. Something I wouldn't say to the extent of Steph Curry's gravity, but it's similar. One thing you guys might have seen from looking at those clips of Rudy's roll gravity is those missed threes. They are not a good three-point shooting team. They just can't get that ball. They just can't get that ball to go through the net. Currently, they only have one player shooting over 40%, which is Kyle Anderson. That's not a good thing. And right now, Anthony Edwards 36% from the three-point line at 7.2 attempts. And to be honest, I want that to be around 40, 38, 39, 40. They have one of the greatest big men here. I know he's been out for a little bit, but they need to utilize shooting the ball. And the last thing that's really not a good thing about this team is how much offensive rebounds and second chance points this team is really giving up. They are really, really struggling with that. With having two big men down low with Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert, they should not be giving up as many offensive rebounds and second chance points as they are. As you can see in some of these clips, Rudy Gobert just getting outworked on the offensive board that they need to work on as Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. Another thing that really doesn't really help them is that they're slow-footed. They can't really read the ball right now. They're slow to read the ball, where the ball is going, so that's why, as you can see right here, their players are just grabbing the ball from them, from the offensive boards and the defensive board as well. One more thing that's really harming this team is that Rudy Gobert likes to be a three-point shooter. So that really doesn't really help them on the offensive glass when they have Rudy Gobert as the only offensive rebounder down there, and Karl-Anthony Towns is just as a spot-up shooter. So I just hope this team can really figure out what they can do as a unit. They had high expectations from a lot of people, including me, and they might not even hit their over-under. As I said, their over-under was 49.5. They might just hit the under right now. Might not even crack 40 wins. Might be maybe 40, 41, 40, 42. Get to that 500 mark. But at this halfway mark, 22-23, 9th in the West. Hopefully they don't drop more than that because they're close to getting out that play-in spot. So we'll see how that works out. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is a new series I'm going to start doing with a lot of teams. I hope y'all enjoy. See y'all next time. Stay safe till then. Peace.